What's going on, everybody? This is Zach Dresch, and you're watching The Dresch Code, home of all things music from a Dresch perspective, live at my girlfriend's porch. It is lovely, as you can see. And today we're going to be talking about the fifth studio album by Ghost entitled Impera. Or is it Impera or Imperia? I'm not so sure. Ghost is back after a 4-year break with their last album, Prequel or Prequel, I'm not quite sure, released back in 2018. That was my first legit, real, full-length studio album listening experience. After hearing bits and pieces of their albums beforehand, I finally got to see them live in 2019, and they were epic and awesome, and they made me a bigger fan. This time around, Tobias Forge, the mastermind of Ghost, is performing as Papa Emeritus IV after performing as Cardinal Copia on the last record. This album has been described thematically as the rise and fall of empires. The album kicks off with Imperium, an epic intro with lead harmonized guitars and marching drums that really sets the tempo for what the album is about to become, which leads into the absolute banger Kaiserian. This track just kicks so much ass. It sounds like a mixture of Mr. Big and Rush. I'm not specifically sure what lengths where they all sound like what, but Mr. Big in the intro, because the lead guitar has this kind of doodle-doodle vibe. I don't know how to describe it, but Rush, especially in the bridge of this song with just this awesome jam section. And Tobias at the beginning of the track just has this high-pitched falsetto that kind of gives the Iron Maiden vibe as well. The pace continues with the album highlight Spillways, which has a piano part that kind of steers the ship of the song. It just has a strong Bon Jovi runaway vibe to it, but not crappy. And it also sounds like Foreigner's Cold as Ice, which is also not crappy. It sounds pretty cool. Might I add, this album is mixed by Andy Wallace, who is the mixing mastermind between classic albums like Nirvana's Nevermind, System of a Down's Toxicity, Sepultura, Soulfly, and even Rush. So, I mean, this guy has got it nailed down to a T, 30 plus years in his career. So naturally, this album sounds epic and amazing and just so pristine and crisp. Call Me a Little Sunshine was one of the first singles released off of the album, and it definitely does slap. Great riffage and lyrics about Satan being with you, so you'll never walk alone. It's excellent. Old school fans will definitely love this track. One thing I will say about this album is, if you are an old school Ghost fan, I don't know if you're going to like this album, unless you have a problem with catchy hard rock and 80s inspired heavy metal. Every track has a strong pop melody as its steering wheel, and this could be no further evident than on the track Hunter's Moon, which was the first track we got a taste of when the album cycle rolled out. This was featured on the Halloween Kills soundtrack, and the chorus just has this infectious keyboard line after Tobias whispers, "Hunter's Moon." I just love the track. It's awesome. Watcher in the Sky is a really cool metal track with cool riffs in between the verses and chorus. It just has such a great, catchy chorus that's sure to be stuck in your head. Searchlight. I just love it. It's awesome. At the halfway point of the album, we get a horns-dominated interlude track called Dominion, which leads right into the second half of the album epically. That leads into the twisted and demented, yet very theatrical track, 20s. Another one that was released before the album came out. This one has divided quite a bit of the Ghost fan base because of it having a vibe of a heavy hard rock band doing something musical, like a musical itself, but I think that actually works to its benefit rather than its disadvantage. Then we have another turning point with the ballad Darkness at the Heart of My Love. The snaps and percussion to this track are just excellent. It's a soaring track destined for arenas, and they knock it out of the park here. It's a great power ballad that does this album justice. Following that, we have Griftwood, which 100% sounds like Van Halen and Blue Oyster Cult having a baby in a great way. You know, it's a fun and catchy track, like I've said about many of the tracks on this album. It's just a nice addition to the record, especially to the second half. The key change at the end is quite a nice touch as well, so props to them on that. Bite of Passage is a cool interlude that leads into the final track, Respite on the Spitalfields, which is a fantastic closer. Tobias kind of channeling James Hetfield in his vocal delivery on this one with the tas at the end of each line in the chorus. I think it's a funny, nice little addition to the track. Adds a lot of theatricality to it. Overall, I like this album a lot. I think it's going to get better with subsequent listens, and yeah, I dig it a lot. I'm going to give this one 4.5 out of 5 Fro picks. Thanks so much for watching this video, everybody. Let me know what you thought about the new Ghost album. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comments and what some of your favorite tracks were. And as always, I will see you on the next video right here on The Dresch Code.